guys, welcome to another episode of Boston Leader Voices, the podcast where we sit down with local professionals to talk about the ideas, challenge, and trends shaping their work and the future of tech. Today, we are joined by Anna. Anna is an AI product and technology executive who spent her career helping companies turn data and AI into real business impact. She led teams, built new departments from scratch, and guided organizations through major digital transformations, all while staying passionate about mentoring and supporting women in tech. Welcome to this episode, Anna.
Hi, Marcelo. It is a pleasure to be here. Indeed, I spent my career developing AI-powered products and solutions. All before the times that AI was cool, back from school. I did my master's in computer vision and PhD in applied math, and since then worked across various industries, including healthcare and pharma and consumer goods and market research and some others to bring the usefulness of data and AI to products and solutions within SaaS companies. Today at Altec AI, we help companies bring the AI strategy to the enterprise and build AI strategy for product to build AI-centric products that customers cannot live without. And I also am honored to educate the next generation of AI leaders as a adjunct professor at the Georgetown University. At the AI Management Master's Program at Georgetown is actually the first AI Master's Program in the country. And we are very pleased to see the huge response we have from multiple students and professionals who are really inclined to learn AI and to manage better AI teams across their companies.
Yeah, quite a career, Anna. Thank you for being here. And in this episode, we will talk about why building AI is often the easiest part and why the real challenge is turning that tech into something valuable, usable, and human at the end. So let's start with why do you think many technical, strong AI projects fall once they reach the hands of users?
So there is like an ongoing open problem with AI that a large percentage of AI initiatives fail. In fact, the most recent report from MIT tells us that as much as 95% of AI initiatives fail to deliver ROI, and only 5% are successful with that. And that number is somewhere there between the 82% that previously was reported and the 95% that is reported now. But definitely a large percentage of AI initiatives fail to deliver ROI or fails to bring impact to actual users. The reason for that is because a lot of companies are rushing into AI initiatives without making sure that the AI initiative is actually aligned with the business goals of the company, and making sure that the AI initiative is closely aligned with the mission of the company, and that the use of AI is something that uniquely helps to reach those business goals. I feel that often leaders of companies fail to develop a strategy and plan that makes sure that ROI is reached and the users get impact from the ROI products or solutions or projects or initiatives that they are developing, whether they're internal or external. So that's one of the reasons that Altec AI, we developed a 5-stage plan of how to develop a successful AI strategy in order to make sure that your company is one of the 5% that are successfully implementing it, and making sure that it is developed not only in a way that brings ROI to the company, but in a way that brings delight to the users and clients that will be using the AI products or solutions that you developed as part of these initiatives.
Great, thank you. And that's on the people that it's going to use it face. But when we think in inside a company, why do you think building the AI model sometimes is like the easy part, but turning it into a real product is where the teams struggle?
This is an excellent question, Marcelo. Thank you for asking it. Many times when I talk to stakeholders or audiences or students, I emphasize that there are 3 hurdles in successfully implementing AI products. There is the technology, the data, and the people. And the technology is actually the easy part. The hard parts are the data and the people. Often when companies develop AI products or solutions or initiative, there is a model underlying the AI solution. And when we want to go from prototype or pilot to enterprise-wide production, we need to make sure that we take in account the model and the model needs and not just the technology needs for the productization. That includes making sure that you have good data pipelines that are maintained, are secure, and you have data regulations, data privacy in place. And you have to make sure that you are investing in the maintenance of the model going forward, including data drift, accuracy drift, etc., which are all being challenges over the years of productizing software products that are powered by data and AI. You have to make sure that you develop the right strategy from the get-go to take care of these future hurdles of going from prototype to production quickly and maintaining your data and AI products in production. That's on the data side. And the additional hurdle, which is again much harder than technology, is people. In order to have your prototype successfully productized and adopted by your users and stakeholders, you need to make sure that there is trust and adoption on your user side. You need to make sure that there is delight on the user side, that they actually intuitively and easily can use your product and get delight from it. And you need to make sure that they can trust the product or solution that is AI powered to give it the accurate answers that they expect. And it's very important to remember that people are much more lenient to human errors than to AI or technology errors. So, in order to gain that trust, you need to invest in the appropriate testing that will ensure that the users get as accurate answers as possible in order to develop that trust. But again, circling back to the delight part, which is not less important, the users will give you the trust and will adopt to your product if they can use it intuitively with delight and knowing that they can trust it because of the good reputation of the company that developed it.
Great. Thank you for the clarification, actually. And actually, I love the next one because I've seen a bunch of trendy waves of new technologies and tools and stuff like that. And actually, I believe a bunch of those inside my companies. But why do you think that founders usually get wrong when they say we want AI? How can companies move beyond AI for like AI sake and focus on solving real using problems and not just wanted to have AI for marketing purposes?
Oh, this is one of my favorite questions, Marcelo. Um, if we go back to why 95%, up to 95% of AI initiatives may fail, and only about 5% are successful and bring ROI to their companies, is exactly related to your question. It's because a lot of companies today, because of the hype, right? The hype has its benefits and it has its risks. Because of the hype, every company is now, we have to have AI now for whatever, as quickly as possible. And also, a lot of companies are like, oh, we heard that AI can replace a lot of employees for productivity. Let's just invest in AI and let go of many people to make sure that we are more productive and saving a lot of money with the use of AI. And that's a problem because of, first of all, you can't just decide that you want to do AI or any technology for the sake of AI or for the sake of technology. You can never use technology randomly for the sake of some emerging new gadget. You have to, as a business, you have to address your business problem and your stakeholder and client needs. And in order to develop solutions that address your actual business problems and business goals and actually solve the needs of your stakeholders and of your customers, you need to make sure that you go the other way around. Not let's take AI and align it to our goals. Let's take our goals and see whether there is any AI technology or solution or tool or initiative that can address a particular goal that we are trying to meet, or a particular mission that we are trying to meet, or a particular problem that we are trying to solve that AI can uniquely help us solve. So that's first. Let's start from the goals and then see what can be uniquely addressed by AI better than by just using people or other types of automation or other types of technology. And after you identify what can uniquely be addressed by AI based on your business needs that are unique to your company and to your stakeholders and to your clients, you can develop a plan and strategy of how you're going to implement it and calculate the ROI that it's going to bring and prioritize which initiative you should start with. And that's kind of natural. You have to make sure that planning first and doing later, strategy first and implementation later, in order to ensure your success, to ensure that you're actually bringing value both to your company and to your stakeholders and clients. And you need to make sure that you actually are AI ready to implement the solution that you thought of. Because even if there is an AI solution that can uniquely solve the problem you're trying to solve and is aligned to your business goals and would serve your clients well, you need to make sure that you're AI ready. And AI ready means that you need to have the right data to serve your AI models, because garbage in, garbage out, truer more than any time in the past now. You have to make sure that you're data ready, and you have to make sure that you're AI ready with the right skill set, because you need to make sure that you have the right employees that can actually build the AI solution sensibly and test it to make sure that it delivers reliable outcomes. And of course, you cannot improve, but you cannot measure. So you have to make sure that you have the right OKRs and KPIs in place to measure throughout the building of your solution that you're actually building a solution that is being successful. And you need to make sure that you're addressing your initial calculation of what's going to bring ROI along the way and validate these assumptions.
Great, Anna, thank you. And going deeper into the hype, I have a personal opinion about why this AI hype is much bigger than another technologies that came before this one, like, I don't know, blockchain or stuff like that. And I think it's because like everybody knows or thinks they know what AI is. Like my mother uses AI tools, and she's like 75 years old, and she knows like something about AI, like it's ringing a bell. So that's why I think like this AI hype and this new trend is so big and changing so much stuff, and that's why I think many companies want to get something with AI because it's really trendy. But I wanted to check my opinion with you. Why do you think like this hype is so big?
I can't wait to hear your opinion about it and how you tie it to blockchain. But kind of to answer your question about why people use AI tools, especially the chats, right, and the image generation tools, is because of the delight that we already mentioned here. So, as a product leader, I often say that it's really important to have the excellent user interface and user experience, which is not less important, the quality of the product itself. AI is like 70 years old now, and the wide use of AI in everyday life is very strong in the last 2 decades. Think about recommendation engines, spell checkers, streaming, self-driving cars, and in healthcare and pharma. We had the use of AI in products and solutions everywhere, especially since the invention of, and population of deep learning and other very useful technologies, and the rise of the natural language processing in the last over 10 years everywhere, that would calculate sentiment and inform other business related and reputation related aspects of business life. So what happened, and even generative AI existed for quite a few years before the hype started, right? And why did the hype start? So in November 2022, OpenAI released ChatGPT, and I think even they themselves did not anticipate the huge hype it generated. And one of the reasons is because of the excellent UX UI that they released with that version of ChatGPT. Before that, if you wanted to use generative AI or use any NLP, natural language processing, for summarization or other tasks, including chatbots, you had to use a more technical interface. You needed to either know Python or have a team of data scientists that would help you out. And people that are not in technology or in data science did not have direct access to such tools. What happened with the release of ChatGPT, that anybody without any technical knowledge or background or data science capabilities could use chats and write prompts directly in the prompt line using a natural human language. And we humans, we like to speak in our natural human language. Not everybody wants to learn to code. And in fact, that's intuitive and fun and delightful interface is contributed a ton to the current hype, among other things such as the huge improvement of the generative AI tools that followed. there was a huge leap between GPT-2 to GPT-3 because it was trained with much more data in a much more wide way. So the vast amount of data, and again, garbage in, garbage out, made a much better model. And so this combination of a much better model with a much better user interface that did not require knowledge of coding or any technology or data science technical capabilities, that's what actually prompted the current hype more than anything else. And I'm really curious to hear what you think about why the current hype happened and how it relates to blockchain.
No, actually, the relationship was because when I used to work at IBM before working at Byrix, and I remember like this trend, but it was just close to the technology groups or banks that I used to work with banks, and everybody wanted to have a blockchain project. It didn't matter for what. It was like there's a trend in this particular niche that everybody's talking about blockchain, so we need to have something, and it didn't matter what. And I think like this hype is so big for what you talk about ChatGPT. I think like regular people, like not just technology groups, are speaking about AI. So, and I think that made this hype so big because everybody wants to have a piece of AI in anything, and actually that that hype made users wanted to use more AI. So it just escalated so fast that I think it changed the world actually, and it's being changed right now.
I couldn't agree with you more. We are living in a time of change. It's a pivotal point in time where we will look, humanity will look back at this point in time and we'll try to kind of think about it. I'm sure many years from now and see the point of change because we are now at the point of change that AI is kind of becoming more and more embedded in work and life and business in like everything we do, much more than before. And this is despite the fact that we've been using Google Translate for many years and without calling it AI, even though it was made with AI models, right, with natural language processing models. But now we are very aware. And I think one of the things that happened is that the release of OpenAI ChatGPT, followed by other large language models, chatbots, such as Gemini and Anthropic Claude, and Mistral and others, democratized the use of AI. And this democratization is also a big agent in this current change because it democratized the knowledge, it democratized the use of AI for various tasks such as productivity, automation, development of products, and innovation, developing apps using vibe coding without knowing how to code or ever coding before, developing AI generated art just by prompting, etc. So this democratization created a huge change where everybody are adopting AI and feel that they have to adopt AI because of the belief that it's gonna improve things for humanity, automate things, make things easier, faster, having workforces being more productive while innovating more and generating more accessibility and usability, helping patients get better outcome, really helping in healthcare with ways we could never before, such as helping people who have disabilities or vision impairment or hearing impairment, really personalized medicine and other really kind of inspiring things that we can do with AI. And whether we look back from years from now and say, wow, this pivotal point in time made things for humanity so much better. It's so amazing that we have all this technology and AI now, which I hope we will be able to say 10 years from now or more. We need to make sure now that we're developing it in the right way, that we make sure that we put the right guardrails and that we develop AI in an ethical way, in a way that would be safe for the future of humanity. And this is really important. And I think now is the right time to make sure that we put all the regulations and guardrails in place so that we and our children and grandchildren will be able to look back years from now and say this pivotal point in time made humanity so much better.
Yeah, and actually, I'm so passionate about this topic, and I think I could spend hours talking about it because what you were mentioning, like the guardrails, it's a really good thing. But on the other side, I'm seeing like I don't know, little kids going to the ice cream shop and asking ChatGPT what flavors they should eat, or I think like or people having like a mental health talks with AI tools or stuff like that. So I think it's going to shape the minds of our kids and somehow. So it's like a little bit like, I don't know if dangerous or tricky, or it's like I'm a little bit afraid of how people is using or it's going to be using like AI tools. So yeah, it's a big thing.
Yeah, that's a great point, Marcelo. So, in addition to the recent MIT study about the success of AI initiatives and ROI, there was also kind of recent study about how it impacts humans, and studies shows that the recent excessive use of AI is impacting our thinking, creativity, and skills capabilities if we are not careful. As many other things, it's our brain is use it or lose it kind of brain. So our brain is continuously rewiring, and things that are used are being reinforced, and things that are not used are not being reinforced, right? The same way as connections are created between neurons, they're also deleted if they're not in use. For example, if you study a language and you don't use it, you forget it. If you have a skill and you don't use it, you tend to forget it because then the brain uses the energy for other things. So if we're using AI for everything, we give up our own creativity or critical thinking or ability to write an essay, we might lose those skills. So we need to make sure that when we use AI, we use it as an assistant and not as a replacement. Using AI for brainstorming our writing or our ideas is great, but just having the AI write the post or the article or the essay for us and then just copy pasting it is maybe saving us 5 minutes now, but actually impacting our ability to have these skills in the future. Um, we have to make sure that we ourselves practice critical thinking in everything we do and that we educate our children how to use AI as an assistant that maintains their critical thinking and creativity rather than replacing it. And in order to do so, both parents need to think how they want to introduce AI and education about AI to their children, and also the places of education, so the schools and universities and colleges need to think how to teach AI in a human way, how to teach AI in a way that, yes, use AI. Of course, you have to learn how to use it because that's the future. Everybody's going to use it. You will stay behind if you don't use it. But you need to use it in combination with your critical thinking, in combination with your creativity, and in combination with maintaining your thinking, writing, and creative and decision and strategic skills in order to preserve those skills for you personally and for the humanity as an overall. So you have to always have the human in the loop, and sometimes you are the human in the loop.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's an important message, and I think we should spread the voice like really wider on that because I think people is using it sometimes in a bad way, and it's like they are starting to lose skills because of the use of AI all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And coming back to our questions, and what do you think are the main skills that are required to bridge the gap for a successful productivization of AI initiatives?
Well, that's a great question because which skills we need to have in a company. So as we said earlier, in order to ensure the success of productizing AI prototypes and pilot and making sure that you and your company are part of the 5% who are successful in productizing their AI initiatives and gaining ROI, you do need to have the right skills. That's one of the things you need to ensure you have. As we said, we need to make sure you have the right data, the AI readiness, the right pipelines, and the right strategy, the right measurements. But you also need to have the right people and the right skills. And how do you ensure having the right skills? It highly depends on what you're trying to do. You need to have people that are talented in prompting or have the skills in prompting. If the products or solutions you develop require prompting, you need to have people that are talented and skilled in data, and that includes data cleaning, finding the right data for your models and your products, and building data pipeline, building the data infrastructure and data warehousing, building what is called the ML ops pipeline, which is the machine learning operational pipeline, to something that's called the LLM ops pipeline, to make sure that your product is delivering good results over time. And for for developing those pipelines and productizing your data and AI products successfully and then maintaining them successfully over years and improving them, you need to make sure that you have what is today can be generally called AI engineers. It's a new profession that is becoming very popular. And AI engineers are a combination of what we previously used to have as data scientists, data engineer, and machine learning AI, ML AI engineers. And the combination of those is required based on what you're exactly building. Are you just building some internal productivity automation tool, or are you building actually an AI first, AI centric product for your clients? And those AI engineers need the range of skills that goes from data to data science to machine learning to AI to prompting. And this range of the hands-on people that can implement those and that can build your AI agents and AI-centric products and solutions, you need to have such a team because we are not yet at the stage that we can have AI building other AI. We still need those humans in the loop that have the specific professional skills to build it. And you have to make sure that you either have the talent or hire the talent or upskill the talent or get a consultancy firm that will build that for you. And in addition to that, and that is very important when we're talking about skills, you need to make sure that your leadership is skilled in understanding what is AI, what is possible, what it can do and what it cannot do, what are the risks and the costs of building the AI solutions you're trying to build. So I think one of the skills that you must have in order to be successful in your AI initiatives is AI literacy for your leadership.
Great, thank you, Anna. I'm going to that part of human shaping AI product. How do you think like diversity and creativity and stuff like that shape better AI products in practice?
Oh, this is one of my favorite topic because one of the risks that we are aware of is AI, is biases in AI, right? AI has a lot of biases. And as we automate a lot of systems in our everyday life with AI, including banking systems that decide on credit, or even systems that relate to law enforcement and systems that related to hiring, right? A lot of this we keep hearing that a lot of these systems are being automated with AI. And hence, we're really worried about the biases in AI because if AI has biases towards certain populations, the outcomes of those AI systems that are assigned to decide whether somebody would be hired or whether somebody is going to get financial credit might be in effect, and some people might get hurt as a result of those biases. And we don't want that. We might want to make sure that the AI system as are neutral from biases as possible. So how we build those AI systems and models, you remember garbage in, garbage out. It's all about the data. And the data is human data, it's human generated data. Because AI is trained on human generated data, it's going to carry out all the biases that we human exhibit. And it's going to even amplify it. And because we don't want bias to be amplified, bias that is found in our human society be amplified, we need to make sure that what we feed into our models for training is unbiased. And because we learned that trying to unbias AI models intentionally by engineers not necessarily work, because we saw examples, for example, from Google, that some unbiasing attempts rewrote the history, right? And whether we would like to see founding mothers and not just founding fathers for the US, that's not what historically happened. So we need to make sure that the unbiasing happens in a way that doesn't bring new biases into the system. Well, the only way to make sure that our data is unbiased is to generate a less biased society. And diversity and creativity of thinking is one of the ways to do that. So if we make sure that the leadership team are diverse and many types of humans participate in the leadership team, we are making sure that we're generating non-biased leadership data and decisions. If we make sure that writers are creative and those creativity coming not just from one way of thinking, but of many types of thinking, we're making sure that the content that we consume and train our models on is as diverse and unbiased as possible. And if we make sure that the decisions making people are combined from decision makers from all the genders and all the colors and all the cultures, we are better situated for the future to make sure that our future AI models are less biased. And in the meantime, those diverse teams can make sure that the implementation of the AI is as safe and unbiased as possible because they would practice their human judgment from this diverse point of view. An additional point that is not less important, think about it. If we're going to a world that AI is going to generate other AI, other solutions, or the group of people that are going to generate the future emerging technologies are all from one type, we are not going to have a lot of innovation. If we are going to make sure that we're going to have innovation going forward into the future, having those diverse teams with many types of creativity and many types of points of view that actually bringing those to the table and debating them is going to give us a much higher chance of having human generated innovation in future years.
Thank you very much, Anna. I think that that was the last one, and I really love this topic, and I think it's really interesting, and it's shocking everyone. So I think people would love this. I think we should make another one because there's so many stuff to talk about AI. And if there are another end message or something that you want to tell to our audience.
Oh, thank you, Marcella. It was such a pleasure chatting with you about AI. Obviously, a topic very near and dear to my heart, especially AI and leadership. And we talked about all the points that are really important now, such as making sure that your company has AI strategy to make sure that you're successful with your AI initiatives, and making sure that your leadership hide the AI literacy to help your company being successful and your stakeholders to uh, gain delight and value from the AI solutions. So at Altec AI, we're making sure to really ensure those points from the AI readiness point of view that we provide to clients to make sure that they are ready for their AI initiatives, to helping them develop an AI strategy that ensures that their company is one of the 5% that is successful, and making sure that they have all the AI literacy and AI knowledge that their leadership team needs to have in order to make sure the success of their companies and their AI initiatives.
Well, thank you very much, Anna, and thank you again for being with us for the time and for the openness about talking this. I think people will find it really interesting. And for you guys, let's see you in the next episode. Thank you again, Anna.
Thank you, Marcel.
Bye bye.